I know you're looking at that thumbnail and thinking this is all clickbait. This can't be anyone's real 3x3. This guy's joking. Well, I'm dead serious. These are my 9 favorite anime of all time, and I've watched 200 plus at this point. When you ask someone what's their favorite anime, choosing one out of all the possible ones that exist is pretty difficult, which is why 3x3s exist. And you can gain some insight on what the character or that person's taste and quality as a human being is like. And I don't know what people's impressions are gonna be if I don't explain each and every entry on my 3x3. So without further ado, I should get started. And if you think my mic quality is bad, that's on you for having a bad subjective opinions on what mic quality should be, just like the quality of the anime that I have on screen right now. Ojamajo Doremi. This puts me in a trance and I'm hypnotized by it whenever I watch it. It is so cute. It just puts me in a positive mood. All the characters are so nice and playful and not a single hint of evil in them. Even the quote unquote antagonists want some level of connection with other people. You know, whatever that sentence means. I just want to say Pope and Anpu are pretty much the best characters in anime ever. One of them's a kindergartner. How do I sell you on this character? They're like Mary Sue's, but they're incredibly egotistical about it. And they're never wrong. And they get shit done, and I just love them so much. Alright, I can't spend too much time on each anime. After School Dice Club, or Houkago Saikoro Club, is about a bunch of high schoolers playing board games, and that's kinda it. Each episode it tries to teach you the rules of a board game, and not only that, the characters learn morals from the mechanics of the board game. That is sick, bro. One of the girls tried to make their own board games, and it goes into how motivation is factored into the game feel for players. Like, it really tries to teach you how game mechanics work. This blue-haired character here has lost all hope in life. She has no direction, no parents, no friends, until she finds the passion that is board games. And when her friends in the end leave her because they're just going through different phases in their life, she like cries over some monster cards and she pretends it's their friends, and it's the saddest thing ever. Fuck you. I think at the end of the day, I love it because it's about board games, and I wanted to watch an anime about board games, and this just nails it on the head. It absolutely encapsulates the passion that goes into making a board game and the players that also play it. It has a very just complete understanding of the appeal of playing one. Like, first you got the rules of the board game, then you get the physical objects, which are the board and the pieces, and the rules teach you how to use them. And above that is strategies around moving your pieces and how to win at it. And it goes into the minds of the players while they're playing a board game. Did I say this? It like teaches you how to play a different board game each episode. Yeah, anyways, I love it. It's adorable. I was gonna go to Hensemi here, but if you notice, these 3 anime on the right are kinda degenerate, so I'll leave them at the end. I'm gonna go to Good Fairies here. Good Good Fairies is a completely CG show that has little tiny chibi fairies, and they are basically just having a conversation that is comedic in nature. And there's a few other sections, like really going out in the CG animation where they do a bunch of spells and silly things happen, and another special section where each episode they dub a clip that the animation team gives them. So, okay, it's a very podcast like show. Usually a script comes before and dialogue is said and then it's animated. But this time around, they have a conversation and then it's animated around that conversation. They don't have a script, so all the funny stuff, it comes out of the voice actresses' heads, and all of them have an amazing chemistry and it's hilarious each episode. I wasn't really laughing out loud all the time or anything, but there are some great moments here and there that just makes me put it on my basically favorites comedy list besides like Megami Sama, I suppose. Like the concept of good fairies just does not happen anywhere else in anime or media in general from what I've seen. So it's just incredibly unique in that aspect, and they really blow it out the park. Except, you know, if you don't like CG animation all that much, but I can tolerate it. The personalities for all the characters are also amazing. I love, I think this one's name is Coco or something. Roro, yeah. She's the incredibly cynical one, and that's always fun, compared to the main characters like Dere personality. And this one is just delusional. It's all hilarious, seeing them all bounce off each other. You can really tell it's like a close-knit group of friends just having a fun conversation with each other, and that's all I need at the end of the day. Alright, here's the middle one, Diebuster. Right after I watched this anime, I've concluded it is my favorite one of all time, and I honestly should contest it by watching it again, but I've already rewatched it twice, so I'm gonna have to wait a few more years to watch a lot more anime and then decide if it is my favorite. But for now, it absolutely deserves this spot, and the reason why is it's just purely based on like aesthetics and mostly the spectacle. It's a mecha show that is in space, and you might be thinking, isn't that literally most mecha shows? Well, this one is well animated, so you can shut up. The explosions are in like big circles, and they fly through space with rings behind them, and the designs look awesome. And one time, Lulk, this white-haired brown girl here, throws a planet at one of the kaiju aliens, and it's just fucking awesome to look at. One personally appealing moment, and this is quite possibly my favorite moment in all of anime, is the ending of episode 3 when they go to Jupiter the gas giant, and humanity, because it's like 20,000 years into the future, they made a giant pillar of glass, and that's like the glass tower that a bunch of humans reside in on Jupiter. For plot reasons, it starts snowing in space, and the main character, Nonoriri, is just kind of prancing and dancing around with like the ambient fluorescent light coming from the floor of the glass tower as snow is falling on top of it, and she's just making snowmen, throwing snowballs and shit, and it's so cool looking. And it just makes me want to live in that future, you know? So yeah, it looks fucking amazing. One thing I don't like is its dialogue. But that's kinda it. Next up is Happiness Charge Precure. I think it is trash. It's one of the worst Precure seasons. but it's on my 3x3 of best anime of all time, in my opinion. So, what's its excuses, huh? I really love all the main cast here: Honey, Hime, and Megumi. I don't really love Fortune all that much, but she just sort of had the most, I don't know, standard character development. But Honey, Kier Honey is just such a beacon of motherly love. She's my mom. I can't explain it in any other way. If you have not listened to the Rice love song that she sings pretty much like constantly throughout the show after she was introduced, then you won't understand what I mean, but that really captures her vibe. Anyways, I worship her. Megumi, to me, notoriously gets mind raped twice in a children's magical girl show. And honestly, it kind of suffers like quite a bit throughout the show, and I respect her for that. But Hime takes the top spot. Like, it really focuses on her instead of Megumi most of the time. That's just because she's such a fun character to be around. She's kind of like Pop and Anpu from Ojamajo Doremi, but just crank the patheticness up to 11 and her competency at literally everything a lot lower. She learns to become better with her friends, but before that, she is a shy, albeit egotistical, I don't know, brat. That's the best way to describe her. She's a brat, and I love her so much. The plot of the show itself, it could be a lot better. Like, it's one of the worst Precure seasons. It's not as bad as everyone says it is. It's definitely got many flaws that it just doesn't want to iron out. But it is still one of my favorites. Kind of just carried completely by how much I love Hime. Alright, next one is Megami Sama. And I kind of like this anime for the same reasons I like Ojamajo Doremi, which is its vibes and its aesthetic and the experience that I have while watching it, because it is generally one of the most like calming shows I've watched. Its opening is pretty much why I watched the show, and the show itself is equally as tranquil. So it was a pleasant surprise. It honestly does also get a bit chaotic, but in a very fun way, as if like there weren't much consequences while a lot of the stuff was happening. There's like this silly antagonist that's like Team Rocket, and she's incredibly goofy and I love her. Erd as well. I didn't expect to love her so much. She's so competent. Unlike Scold here, who's another bratish sort of person. And I love my emotos, I suppose. And then you got the airheaded Bell Dandy. The universe that the show takes place in, like, it makes reality out to be some sort of computer simulation, and all the angels are like programmers who edit the code of reality. And one time, Scold, who is like the Emoto, she's an inventor, a smart inventor as well. She creates a machine, like a giant hammer, to hammer out all the bugs that are on reality, and the bugs like put Erd into the television screen and makes the protagonist like turn into a bike and then become like 2D or something and teleport everywhere. It's awesome. But yeah, it also like makes everything out to be silly and fun, which is why I love it so much. And I thought, I was like, this is totally just my life, because the MC is also in college, and I wish, like, the first episode was really effective in making me connect with the main character because like his life is just down, but he's constantly positive about it. That is until he calls upon the god service on his telephone and calls for Bell Dandy. And their first meeting was really cute, and then they like lose their home, and well, basically they go through a lot of bad stuff before doing a bunch of silly stuff with a lot of people. One of my other favorite things that every single character is like involved in every story, and that makes it feel so much more like contained and homely, that all these characters have interactions with each other. Oh god, it makes me feel, man. I think I've rambled a bit too much for Megami Sama, but it's awesome. I love it. Alright, throw all that sentimental cute shit all out the window, okay? You got Hensemi to talk about. So the best way to explain this show is about a college course, I suppose, and all the students that take it, about abnormal human physiology and desires. So it's basically about a college course about being horny. And all the students and all the teachers, they are incredibly perverted and have very specific kinks and fetishes that it wants to explore. This is what happens when you like turn off the rational part of your brain and just let it completely go buck wild. The show does not hold back in its disgustingness or its perverseness when it comes to dealing with its subject matters. And I think we do need a show like that. Like, let's stop tiptoeing around. Humans are disgusting, and this show shows that. It also tries to like academically research it, which we need to do even more. Say what you will about these disgusting dregs of society, but I respect them. You've got too many normies. One of the girls is rating which maggots and worms taste the best as fish bait. Another episode, she is on the floor with her bare stomach and everyone eats sushi off of her. She lays like bot flies in her ear. Another guy is trying to do an experiment where he pees in public like all the time. I don't know. Okay, you know what? I'll stop. There's a lot, okay? If you want more of that, watch the show. I hope I did a good job selling it to you. The next one is, you're not gonna believe this. This anime is only 5 minutes long, but it is in my top 9 favorite anime of all time. And that is Tenshi no Drop. What is it about? Let's just say a bunch of grade schoolers want to have a tea party and things go drastically wrong. I still think it's a very cute looking show, at least. Like, there's not going to be any gore or anything, and you're honestly just wasting your time having me explain to you what it is instead of just watching it yourself. It's only 5 minutes long and it's on YouTube, but they are the best 5 minutes of my life. That is hilarious, and I genuinely think it has deep themes about maturity and going through puberty. I just need to decipher them. This is not an analysis, though. This is just me explaining why it's one of my favorites of all time. And I just burst out laughing. I'll spoil a little bit of it. This black-haired girl, she walks in. She wants to have a tea party, you know, but the floors of the dorm that they're staying in is very weak. So, out of nowhere, the wooden floor creaks and breaks, and on one of the poles of the wooden floor, she crushes her crotch, and it's so sudden, it just makes me laugh out loud for the next like 3 minutes. It was the first time I saw that, I could not stop laughing. But yeah, maybe my sense of humor is effed up. I also really like Shinobu. She's got a great personality. She's a bit too mature for her age, and she's a complete airhead, but it seems like she just thinks in like a different logic system than the rest of the world. I'm not supposed to analyze it. Next anime. Oh, sorry, this is a hentai. Alright. Hopefully these pictures of lollies don't turn you off. The main guy doesn't do it with lollies to say, so it's technically not CP, so it's okay. This just encapsulates I should just straight up tell you what the fetish is. It's age progression. So yeah, it kind of encapsulates what's like my favorite not really my favorite fetish, but it is one of them, I suppose. It's like part of it. I don't know what else to say. It's not like it's a amazingly animated hentai or anything. It just has such an incredibly specific, appealing kink, like just to me, that I love it that much to put it above every single other anime that I've watched. So there you go. Believe it or not, like, the fetish this hentai does just is not anywhere else. And believe me, I've searched everywhere. So there you go. That's it for my completely autistic stupid list. I'm gonna show you my normal looking list now for normies if they can't handle my great opinions. Here it is. Monogatari second season, Konosuba, Oreimo, Gurren Lagann, mystery here that I'll explain later, Nichijou, Lane, NHK, and Code Geass. I'll just go through it one by one and explain to you why I love them in a single sentence. Monogatari second season, I love the way that it presents its dialogues and its characters are very multifaceted. Konosuba has completely unredeemable characters that are just really fun to hang out with. Oreimo, I think it portrays being an otaku pretty well and surprisingly has good characters. Like, emphasis on surprisingly. Gurren Lagann is just incredibly hype. It is a very experiential show. Nichijou has this very specific brand of like cute comedy that I think anime like Love is War and Spy Family try to replicate, but it just seems generic in comparison to Nichijou. I can't like enjoy either of those anime nearly as much as I watched Nichijou. Lane, it's sort of the pretentious pick, but I genuinely did think about it for like a very long while after I watched it. Welcome to the NHK perfectly portrays loneliness very well, and it is surprisingly engaging. I thought it was just about a guy stuck in his room, but it was very fun to watch. Code Geass, it's also, I think like when I watched R1, I could not stop watching it. I was binging it all the way through. It's like Death Note. It's got smart Death Note tactics for military strategy, but it also has anime fan service, so it's like the perfect mix. Death Note did not have any of that, and Code Geass did, which is why I like it more. I watched all of it in like 2 weeks, 50 episodes, and I've never done that. Usually 50 episodes takes me 2 months, but Code Geass is special. I'll be honest, I think about this mystery thing in the middle, I had a lot of anime that could have been on my 3x3, but I just couldn't choose between all of them. For example, like Steins Gate, Bacano, Dragon Maid, but I need to rewatch it to be completely sure, and this is not like my real 3x3 anyways, it doesn't matter that much. Another thing is that quite a bit of these animes might like change because I've watched second season Monogatari, Konosuba, Gurren Lagann, and NHK quite a while ago, but Ori Imo, Nichijou, Code Geass, and Lane I've watched just recently, like in the last month. And genuinely in that month, watched a bunch of amazing, great anime that I loved. So that's why a lot of them are here. And I did try to find and sift through my past top 10s and my entire anime list to see if there was something else that's worth it. But no, these animes are the best out of all of them. Anyways, here's the real moral here. Yeah, compare this generic garbage with my way better, more nuanced list. Everyone's got Monogatari and Lane on their list because they want to feel good about themselves, okay? Like, these are the pretentious picks. Everyone wants to show themselves that they have quote-unquote good taste when, in my opinion, a much more interesting list would be mine over here. Like, if I showed you one that had like Mushishi, Cowboy Bebop, Monster, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, no one would gain anything from that because that's already stuff everyone knows to be good. They don't gain any new information, and they certainly, well, at least to me, I wouldn't respect you more if you want to just look and if you just want to look cool and feel better about yourself. I probably should have put Porco Rosso in the middle here because like an obscure Ghibli movie would be turning heads in a 3x3. But whatever. Look, this is my favorite. Here's the mixture of both of them that I've concluded. I replaced most of the newer anime and I've only kept Nichijou. And I basically put in I didn't put in any of the degenerate ones because I know those are so personally appealing that they didn't have like great quality to them, even even on a personal level. But yeah, I still put in Happiness Charge, even though it is like, to me, sort of a strong 4 to a light 5 kind of show. But whatever. I love all these animes. You can't stop me. I'm gonna watch way more, and no doubt that it'll change. Like, my 3x3s will change pretty consistently because I just have not watched everything yet. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope I whittled this video down to something a lot shorter than 39-40 minutes. Consume everything, and goodbye.